Good evening. Welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight's stories include:
what kind of turnout did you have for open house?
Awareness of natural environment and the importance of protecting it during the
I spoke with Nora Marsden, principal at St. John Central High, this past week to find out the progress made during first term reports.
Mr. Marsden, how was the progress made during the first term at St. John Central High?
The progress this year, our first report in November, we have a number of reports during the year, but our first progress report in November went, I should say, fairly well. We have a number of students who are really on track. They're really progressing well, and of course we're very, very proud of that. We have a number of students, however, that are not doing as well, not as well as we certainly expect. It's early in the year, but I would caution students that they begin studying, before it becomes too late. I wouldn't want students to be faced with a situation in midwinter or spring where they'd be trying to catch up on work. That's very hard to do, and that would certainly be frustrating to students. But they were fairly good. I can just mention some grades where there is some concern. In grade 7, we have 34 students enrolled, and we had 3 there that we're concerned about. In grade 8, we have 37 students, and there are 4 students there that we're concerned. In grade 9, we have an enrollment of 45 students, and there are 5 students here that really need, that have been failing. And once I'm mentioning here so far from our students that are failing 2 or 3 courses. And that is the area of concern. In level 1 this year, in senior high, we have 40 students in 2 classes, and there are 8 students there that fail 2 or 3 courses. Now that could be 4 or 6 credits. In level 2, we have 43 students enrolled, and we have 15 students. And this certainly is a real area of concern in level 2. We have 15 students there that are failing their courses. Level 3, the results were very good. These are our graduates, and we have quite a large class this year. We have 73 students, and only 5 of them are not doing as well as we expect. Generally, fairly good, but there are areas of concern.
Okay, how does this year's progress compare with previous years?
I'd say we're pretty much the same, I suppose, in student progress. That there are students who, I've indicated some concern. There are students who don't really realize at the beginning of the year, what is expected in order to pass a course. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time for them to fully realize. And I've noticed that since Open House, that a number of students who we're sure can do better have shown improvement. So that's encouraging. But with respect to other years, pretty much the same, I would say.
What kind of turnout did you have for open house?
Open house was good. We had open house on 2 afternoons, and that ran from 3:30 until 5:30, but in a lot of cases it ran until 6 o'clock. We saw 60-odd parents that came into the school, which was encouraging. The only thing I might add is that there are some students that we are concerned about, and we'd certainly encourage parents to come out to open house. Now there will be another chance later on in the year when the midterm results are out. But those students, or those parents, I should say, who who realize there is problems and should make every effort to attend open house. If this can be done on the days that we have open house, then certainly, make some arrangements, calling teachers where there's individual concern in courses, call them at the school, set up an appointment, come in and see us, and we'll sit down and talk and point out the areas that we were really concerned about.
How many dropouts have you had since the school year began?
On our dropouts, I might just add that over the years, particularly within the last, 3 or 4 years, that we can see that we are retaining a lot more students. There are a lot of, and we have figures that show us that we have a lot of students who are coming back and finishing their grade 12. This is encouraging. We're retaining more, but to answer your question, we had 2 students that I can recall that dropped out, and that was fairly early in the term. But I want to emphasize and point out that we have, for example, this year in grade 12, we have 16 students who had not passed, not graduated last year, who have come back to school. A lot of them to get their grade 12, and some of them to just improve on courses, just to try and get a better merit, or to get a course that they realize now that they would need in order to get into university or trade school or Fisher Institute or Cabot Institute. So we feel very good about this, that students are realizing that there is a real need, and that they're coming back and getting grade 12. Very encouraging.
Is there anything new happening at your school?
There are a lot of things happening in our school, a lot of good things, a lot of positive things. We have students involved in such things as drama, for example. We've had those drama students perform for other students. They've taken their play out to Stephenville. We've also had other classes that have gone out and seen plays performed in Stephenville Arts and Culture Center, and at the college in Corner Brook. We've hosted this year a math competition that includes a lot of students from the West Coast. We've had a lot of sports on the go, like volleyball. We've had groups that we've sent out to Port-au-Port, that area. And we can see other things happening down the road. Skiing, for example, we see that coming on later on in the year, when we give an opportunity for students to travel out and participate in downhill skiing. So there is a lot of things that are on the go.
Okay, Mr. Marsden, thank you for talking to us.
Well, you're kindly welcome.
I was informed by Mr. George Coley this past week that production of Seafreeze foods will resume in the near future. Scotia Bank was a beehive of activity on Wednesday as it celebrated 25 years of service to the community of Burgeo.
I understand today was a special day here at Scotia Bank. Can you tell us what you were doing today?
Today we gave out balloons to the children. We had Tim Horton donuts and official cake cutting. We gave out souvenirs. And we're overnight bag, Scotia Bank overnight bag.
Okay, why were you doing this today?
Today is the anniversary of Scotia Bank. It's been serving Virgil for 25 years. And it's also 7 years ago today, we had our fire.
Perhaps you'd like to introduce your guests here today?
Dave, with me today is our Assistant General Manager of our Newfoundland region, Mr. Jim Curie, who I spoke with left. On far left is Mr. Bryn Follett. Bryn is our Personnel Manager of the Newfoundland region. And we're pleased to have both gentlemen with us today to celebrate our 25 continuous years of service in the region.
Okay, Mr. Burton, who was the first bank manager to serve in Virgil Branch?
Well, Dave, the first manager to serve in Virgil Branch was a gentleman by the name of Frank Davis. Has a picture right here on the wall. That goes right back to 1916 when the Bank of Nova Scotia operated out of the small building located down near Mrs. Mariah Iscox's. And the branch was closed again in May of 1923 due to economic difficulties in the fishery throughout Newfoundland, I guess, at that particular time. So we reopened again in on November 17, 1966, I should say. At that time, Oliver Pitcher was the first manager, and his chief clerk at that time was Charlie Pittman. I guess there's quite a few people who do now still remember both Oliver and Charlie. And they were followed by a guy by the name of Dave Butt, Bill Learning, Lauren Quinn, Milton Goss, Bill Verdi, and myself for the past 11 years.
Is this your first visit to the Virgil Branch?
Yes, it is my first visit to the area.
How do you feel about the operations at the Virgil Branch?
From what I've seen here today, it's fantastic. We have one fine staff and dedicated bankers here. And I must say that the people of Virgil are kind, very nice. I talked to many of them today, and I just wish to assure them that we appreciate their patronage, and we intend to continue on serving their needs for many years to come.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Dave, today we had tickets on a Scotia Bank bag. Every customer that walked into the branch today or dropped by to say hello, and we put their names on a little piece of paper and put it in the bag, and I'm going to ask Mr. Bryn Follett if he would draw the winning ticket.
Rhoda Hand.
Okay, the bag was won by Mrs. Rhoda Hand. Thank you, Dave.
I spoke to Karen Parsons, leader of the Duke of Edinburgh Award, to find out exactly what it was all about.
Karen, I understand you are the leader for the Duke of Edinburgh Award.
Yes, I am.
What is the Duke of Edinburgh Award?
The Duke of Edinburgh Award is Prince Philip's Challenge to Youth, and it's Canada's most prestigious award for young Canadians, or young people, because it's being done all over the world. It is a leadership and citizenship designed to encourage self-reliance, creativity, and perseverance. The program is demanding and challenging, but attainable by all. Young people take the challenge, measure themselves against established standards rather than fellow participants.
Okay, how many categories are there to the Duke of Edinburgh Award?
There are 3 categories: bronze, silver, and gold.
Okay, what category are you involved with?
Right now we're doing bronze, and you work your way up.
Okay, what is the age limit?
It's age 14 to 25, and that is both boys and girls.
Okay, how many members do you have now?
We only have 5 right now, but we're hoping to get more.
Okay, I understand you had a recent trip to St. John's regarding the Duke of Edinburgh Award?
Yeah, the trip was a conference about the Duke of Edinburgh Award has been around since the 1960s, but it's been kept a secret, not on purpose. So the conference was to try to find ways to get more people to know about it.
Karen, how do you register for the Duke of Edinburgh Award?
Or you just come to me, and I'll send after your record book. That is a little book there somewhere. little book like this, and it keeps record of everything that you do, like, and your sister that does it, and
Okay, what kind of things do you do?
well, for the bronze and silver and gold is all the same things. You got to do scales, which is the gold for that is to encourage the discovery of personal interests and social and practice skills. The requirements are: you choose a scale for a minimum of 6 months. You would practice the scale you have chosen as often as possible, or the one who's teaching you would set the times. Some samples are cooking, guitar lessons, choir, photography, public speaking, woodwork, and crafts, etc. You can come up with your own scale. And the scales are the same for bronze, silver, and gold, but each time it gets more challenging. Like the silver asks you to do more, but you have to do more hours, as in silver, and you have to do even more in gold. Okay. And there's a service. The goal for that is to encourage realization that as members of community, we have a responsibility to others, and that our help is needed. The requirements are a minimum of 15 hours spread over 6 months, so it's really not much. Some samples are BBS, help the elderly, sick, disabled, help at the library, local or school, teach Sunday school, choir, and then again the list goes on. We also have the physical fitness, that is to encourage participation in physical activities and to learn to appreciate physical fitness as an important component of an healthy lifestyle. The requirements are: you must take part in physical activities to gain 30 points over a minimum of 15 weeks, only 2 points a week. 1 hour of any physical fitness equals 1 point. Some samples are brisk walking, aerobics, cross-country skiing, dancing, arts, any sport, and swimming. We then have an expedition and exploration. Now this is the one that takes the most time. That is to develop self-reliance by undertaking a journey of discovery, to encourage young people to develop an awareness of natural environment and the importance of protecting it during the expedition. The requirements are: you have to do a practice journey, which is out for a day with a backpack, and to get ready for your actual expedition. And you also, before you go on your practice journey, you have to do like your compass, your equipment, like what equipment you're going to use on the trip. And well, there is a few more things, and when we get involved in that, we will discuss it out more. So then the actual expedition is 2 days, including 1 night away with a backpack. Then again, like, you got to learn to camp on the country, and like I said, we'll get more involved in once we get to our expedition, because that is the last thing that we are going to do. And like I said, the training to be taking is cooking and menu planning, first aid, emergency planning and safety, map and compass, and like I said, the equipment used.
Okay, Karen, do you have regular meetings?
No, we don't. Well, the only thing that we're going to be having meetings about is our expedition. Now, well, all the girls that I have now, we all are at BBS, so if there's anything that I have to tell them, like we're all doing our service at BBS, so if there's anything that I want to tell them, I'll tell them at the BBS meeting. But if they have problems or anything, they can come to me, and I'm going to start checking their books, see that they are doing it properly, because it was said to at the conference that people were doing it their hours wrong, so now I'm going to start checking them, see that they are doing their hours right.
Okay, Karen, thanks for talking to us.
Okay.
And we'll check back with you in the future and see how you guys make out.
Okay.
Now over to Reverend Charles with the Anglican Church Report.
Good evening. Once again, I am happy to make this report to you on behalf of the Anglican Church. Tonight, I begin with a note of thanks. The response to the personal care box we had in the church was tremendous. The items will now be forwarded to the Senior Citizens Home in Stephenville Crossing. On behalf of the Outreach Committee, I express sincere thanks to everyone. We received some negative reactions from our request for personal care items. Several people thought that it was unnecessary to collect personal care items for these seniors. We, the members of the Outreach Committee, can assure everyone that information obtained from both the administrator and social worker at that home indicated a need for personal care items. In fact, Mr. Helen Bradley was delighted to know that we had decided to reach out in this way, and he carried back our October bulletin to show his staff the notice concerning the personal care box. The members of the Outreach Committee was a bit upset concerning the criticism. None of them, including myself, are radical and make rash decisions. In our attempt to reach out to other people, as we are commissioned to do as Christians, we first made inquiries and responded according to that need. The message we would like to pass on and impress upon people is simply this. If you don't want to make a donation to a request, please don't. But by the same token, don't make unkind, uninformed remarks about it. We fully appreciate and understand your unwillingness or inability to make a donation to some charitable cause. That choice is yours. However, we fail to see the wisdom or motive behind your attempt to destroy or degrade the charitable cause. Speaking of charitable causes, I want to tell you that today, Advent Sunday, the mitten tree was, as customary, erected in our church. Each Sunday in Advent, you will have an opportunity to bring a knitted item, such as mittens, socks, scarves, and caps, and place them on this tree. At the end of the Advent season, the items will be sent to the Westmount Church of the Advent in Montreal to be distributed to new refugees that come to our country. Last year, your response was 71 pairs of mittens, 75 pairs of socks, 10 pairs of gloves, 10 caps, 10 scarves, and 7 pairs of slippers. On December the 13th, weather permitting, the members of our choirs, who are available and willing, will visit the sick and shut-ins to sing Christmas carols. On December the 14th, a Christmas fair will be held in the parish hall, beginning at 2 p.m. This fair will have several phases. At 2 p.m. there will be a sale of baked goods, preserves, and crafts. At 2:30, various games will be held. The games include jigs, sponge throw, ring toss, lollipop tree, coin toss, cup games, and so on. Since this phase of the fair is fun-oriented, little emphasis will be placed on money. Therefore, the children can participate in these activities for very small amounts. At approximately 3:30, Santa will visit, and beginning at 8 p.m., there will be a talent show sponsored by the Fellowship Committee. A number of groups and individuals will be performing. Admission to this evening of entertainment will be $2 for children under 12 and $3 for people 13 years and over. It is hoped that you will be able to attend. We hope to add a new feature to our Christmas fair this year. We would like to give you an opportunity to display your creative talents. Many of you are creative in knitting, crocheting, woodwork, sewing, felt work, flower arrangement, Christmas tree decorations, and so on. What we ask you to do is bring an item of your handiwork to church on Sunday, December the 8th, to put it on display. It will be a thanksgiving offering to God for your creative talents. We will take the items to the parish hall to be sold. we know many of you are excellent bakers and cake decorators. Unfortunately, we will not be able to display your baked goods on December the 6th and sell them on December the 14th. However, we sincerely hope that you are willing to display your cakes and cookies at the Parish Hall on Saturday, December the 14th, and have them sold at the same time. If you plan to donate a baked item, we ask you to bring it to the Parish Hall anytime Friday afternoon or night to have it prized. In February of this year, someone here in town started the Primates World Relief and Development Fund with a penny. As of the middle of November, that penny has grown to an almost unbelievable $1,380.05, and it is still growing. We are both amazed about this and sincerely thankful. In regards to outreach activities, our parish is setting excellent examples for others to follow. Our financial picture at home, however, is not quite as bright. By the end of this year, we will be approximately $11,000 short of our proposed budget. There are positive signs in our financial report, though. In my last report, I told you that we owed $13,000 to Senate office. Since that time, we have paid $6,000 of that amount. Hopefully, by the end of the year, our deficit will not be large. On the other hand, with over 700 subscribers, a deficit is totally unnecessary. By now, you have received a letter from your rector concerning faith in action. If you haven't already responded to this letter, it would be appreciated if you would do so as soon as possible. You're asked to make sure that you understand the Faith in Action campaign before you say yes or no. If you don't understand or have any questions concerning the campaign, please contact your rector, Reverend Small. After you have made your decision concerning the Faith in Action program, inform Reverend Small of your decision by returning the response card. Finally, if you haven't already returned your questionnaires regarding your envelopes, please do so quickly. Out of a possible 750, we have received 121. The decisions you make on this questionnaire will help to manage more efficiently the finances of the church. It will take you no more than 3 minutes to make out that questionnaire. For your church, that will be a very profitable 3 minutes. Now, on behalf of the vestry, I want to thank you for all the support you have given your church this year, whether that is support by means of your money, your talents, or your time. I can assure you, any support you give to your church will be gratefully acknowledged. For now, I bid you good night.
Next week has been declared Drug Awareness Week for the town of Burgeo.
Evening. As chairperson of the Drug Awareness Committee of the Burgeo Lions Club, I would like to say a few words on behalf of the Lions and Lionesses with respect to the upcoming Drug Awareness Week. Drugs and alcohol use, misuse and abuse are a concern of all people at all times. Still, there seems to be an effort, a particular time of the year when all communities sort of get together and try to make people realize how important this particular week really is. They declare this, of course, Drug Awareness Week. During that time, various groups in the community work towards increasing the awareness of citizens to the very serious nature of this particular problem. For Burgeo, the week of December the 2nd to the 8th has been so designated. In our community, the Lions and Lioness, in conjunction with, of course, the RCMP, school, and students, have tried to put together a program that will hopefully accomplish this particular thing, make everyone aware of how important this particular week really is. So I guess without me saying anything more, at this particular time I would like to pass it over to the Lioness President Doris.
Thank you, Lion Max. Just a few words, I guess, about some of the things that we have planned for this week. Right after this newscast tonight, PBS has agreed to show a short, I guess, play, if you want to call it that, a little skit that was done at our school. It's a little skit about drug use and drug misuse. It's a skit that was performed last Thursday in Stephenville as part of the Youth Speak program. It was very well done. And I'd like at this time to thank Mrs. Barter and her theater arts class for allowing us to use this as part of the drug awareness program. Also, throughout the week at school, there will be a display of literature, posters, and different things that have been supplied by the ADDC, the Alcohol and Drug Dependency Commission, I think it is. And they have supplied a variety of pamphlets and fact sheets and stuff on various drugs, and that will be displayed throughout the school and will be made available to the students, and will be copies of it will be kept on file in the library for future reference and so on. It's also hoped that, and it's not confirmed yet, it's also hoped that the RCMP will be available sometime throughout the week to do a short assembly in school with the student body. I guess they would be the local authorities on drug use and abuse and some of the problems and stuff like that. Of course, they're very busy, so we don't know if that's going to come off or not for sure. And I think on Wednesday of this week, I think it's Wednesday, Jody Bagg, a level 2 student at our school, is going to do a presentation on BBS about why young people become involved with drug use and the kinds of problems that they experience that would cause them to start using drugs in the first place, I guess. So I think that's going to be on Wednesday. I don't know if I forgot anything or not.
Oh, we just brought 2 short films to the studio now, and hopefully Dave will find time, probably on Monday and Tuesday of next week, to show these films, probably one each night. They're very, very short films. And on Thursday and Friday, we might even repeat these films for anyone that might not have got a chance to see them on Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday then. I think that's pretty much it. Takes care of the activities that we have planned for this particular week. Hopefully everyone will see fit to participate and look around, probably look at themselves a little closer during this particular week and see if there's anything that we can do to make this matter probably a little more visible at this particular time of the year. I'm sure that we all realize that every week should be looked at as Drug Awareness Week, but we oftentimes sort of have that in the background somewhere. But anyway, hopefully this will bring it to the forefront.
One thing I'd like to say, just to interrupt right now, is that it seems like the emphasis has been on young people. We're not trying to suggest that only our young people are involved with alcohol and drugs and things like that. But I think it's the realization that if we are going to do anything about the problem, we have to start, we have to get at it before it starts, before it becomes a problem. And that's why the focus of our presentation is certainly with our young people. I think that's fair to say.
Right, no question about that. So again, we would like to have had the Mayor McDonald, or the Deputy Mayor here at this particular time to sign the proclamation, declare Drug Awareness Week open. But these 2 individuals are out of town work commitments at this particular time. So as soon as they get back, I'm sure they'd be more than glad to do that kind of thing. So you probably look forward to that on Monday night. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you probably just heard me talk about the stadium we'd like to have in Virgil. Between the games there, I went down in the audience, and who said that fun? Mr. Roger Sunday. Welcome to the arena, open chamber Virgil.
I certainly was. It was a bit of a spot today, but of course, all those teams, Virgil, Watson, Mason, George, are all from planning. Today, I didn't mind cheering for Virgil because these fellas deserve a big pat on the back just for making the effort. These fellas have not been on stage yet this year, and you just hit the reason on them. They don't have an arena. I was thinking a month ago, there can't be any place in this planet with the population base of Virgil, put together with Granby, Grey River, say Grand River, those 6 communities between them have a population, say, of 5,000-6,000 people. And if you look around the island, there's no other place in the island with that population base that doesn't have either an arena in their town or within 10 or 15 minutes drive. And where we're standing right now is a case in point. As you know, 10, 12 miles away is Stephen Village Arena. So that this one here is the George, beautiful facility, by the way, beautiful facility. This one here is really serving just as the meeting area. Flat Day, St. Teresa's, St. George's, and Marsden. But the same population as in the Virgil Randy area. If a stadium can work financially in this area here, in Georgia, it ought to work in Virgil. And that's the big issue. Finding the money to build a stadium is an issue, of course. But the real question that's got to be answered first is whether the town in the area can support the operation of the stadium. Now, I believe it can if the planning itself is done properly.
Okay. So what role can the federal government play in making this? I understand that I think maybe about 2 years ago there was a feasibility study done, at least it started. Now if this should be a feasible project, where would the federal government, how can they also do the opposite?
Okay, good question. First of all, the first person who should be talking to, of course, is my friend and colleague, Dave Gilbert, because
What we doing now?
this kind of issue comes under provincial government recreation. And as you know, very recently, the provincial government announced a financial assistance to the Harbour Breton area to build arenas such as this. The first step is to talk to the recreation people and the provincial MHA, Mr. Gilbert, because the funding, the approval would have to come from that level. But you asked me particularly what the federal government can do.
Well, that concludes tonight's program. We hope you enjoyed it. On behalf of BBS and the BBS volunteers, I'm Dave Cooper. Have a great week. Good night.